Hello, I'm Dr. Heidi, and welcome to week 16 of the 1,000-Word Challenge. The last 2 weeks focused on reading and listening, in other words, language input. This week I'll talk about speaking, and next week I'll talk about writing, which are two types of language output. I'm going to really encourage you to speak in English this week. Coming up. Speaking in a language you don't know very well can be very hard, but it's extremely important. When you learn a word from listening or reading, it's a little fuzzy in your mind. But when you use that word in speaking or writing, your knowledge for the word gets much stronger. Today I'm going to talk about gaining confidence for speaking and improving your fluency in English. I'll give you some vocabulary words that are used more for speaking than reading or writing. Finally, I'll give you some challenges to practice what you've learned. Many people who are learning a new language are afraid to speak. Why do you think this is? I think there are two possible reasons. One, they are afraid they're going to make a mistake. Two, they don't have confidence. That is, they are not sure if they can do it. So let me talk about the first reason, and this is pretty easy. If you are afraid to speak English because you are worried you will make a mistake, let me tell you something. Yes, 100%, you will make a mistake. Of course you will. It is impossible to learn to speak a new language without making mistakes. In fact, making mistakes is how we learn. You will say something, and sometimes you will immediately hear what you just said and realize it had an error of grammar, or maybe you used the wrong word. If you are speaking to your teacher, he or she may correct the error. But many times, the person you are talking to will notice the error or not say anything. Or, if they're also a learner, they might not notice the error. But that's okay, because the main goal of speaking is not to speak perfectly, but rather to express yourself, to communicate your thoughts and feelings. Speaking helps us connect with other people, and that is true even if you make a few mistakes. Being afraid to make a mistake is not a good reason not to speak. Why? Because the more you practice, the fewer mistakes you will make. The next thing I want to talk about is confidence, which is the belief that you can do something. Again, the best way to build confidence is to practice. If I think I can't do something, but I do it anyway, there's a good chance I will succeed. If I do, this will give me confidence for next time. So I want you to be brave. Being brave or having courage does not mean that you're not afraid. It means you do something even though you are afraid. Don't let fear stop you. There are some things you can do to improve your chances for success. And the biggest thing you can do is to think about what you are going to say ahead of time. That is, before you say it. And even practice to yourself what you're going to say. So, for example, if there is a person in your class that you think is interesting and who you would like to get to know better, it might be hard to go up and talk to them. So before you leave your house in the morning, think about what you will say to get the conversation started, and maybe even say it out loud to yourself at home. For example, "Hi, I'm Heidi. What's your name? How do you like this class? Where are you from?" and so forth. If you have these sentences ready, it's easier to get started. If you want to talk about something more specific, look up the vocabulary words ahead of time for what you want to say and practice using them in a sentence. Using the same example from last week, if your class went to a museum, you could say to your new friend, "How did you like the sculpture?" Every time you practice, you will get more confidence, and having more confidence will make it easier to practice. So sometimes the hardest thing is to be brave and take that first step. Here are some phrases that you can use in your speech to help you speak more fluently or smoothly. I mean, you know, you see, as you know, kind of, sort of, anyway, however, now, so, don't worry, never mind. Here are some good words and phrases to use to respond to the other person. Ah, fine. Good. Uh-huh. Okay. Quite. Really? Right. Sure. All right. I see. That's right. This week, I want to give you a challenge to practice speaking. 1. Talk to somebody new. Maybe somebody in your class or neighborhood. Try to make a new friend. Or 2. Make a video in English and share it on social media. If you're using Instagram or Facebook, you can make a story video, which will be very short, and it will only be online for one day. It can be about anything you're interested in. Again, practice to yourself and look up words that you might need. Start the video. Today I'm going to practice my English. Be sure to tag Vocab Victor so I can check it out. Coming up, this week's words. Respond. To say or write something as an answer to a question or request. Reply. Brave. Feeling or showing no fear, not afraid. Neighborhood. The people who live near each other. Anyway. Used to add something to a previous statement. Connect. To have or share a feeling of affection and understanding. Really. Used in speech to show surprise, doubt, or interest. Confidence. A feeling or belief that you can do something well or succeed at something. Afraid. Nervous about something. Notice. Attention that people give to someone or something. Practice. To do something again and again in order to become better at it. Belief. A feeling of trust in the worth or ability of someone. Express. To write or talk about something that you are thinking or feeling. Communicate. To get someone to understand your thoughts or feelings. However. Used when you are saying something that is different from or contrasts with a previous statement. Reason. A statement or fact that explains why something is the way it is, why someone does, thinks, or says something, or why someone behaves in a certain way. Gain. To gradually get something or more of something as time passes. Immediately, without any delay. Challenge. To test the ability, skill, or strength of someone or something. To be difficult enough to be interesting to something. Step. A series of actions that are done to achieve something. Mistake. Something that is not correct. A wrong action, statement, or judgment. Error. Well, I hope I inspired you to practice your speaking skills in English. If you want to post a video or story to social media, be sure to tag Vocab Victor so I can check it out. Visit our website to see the text for this week's lesson. Download Vocab Victor to practice your vocabulary every day, and come back next week for 20 more words. Thank you.